on Curiosity Stream. He allows them their riches.
Putin has to be the richest of the rich.
In exchange for their loyalty.
The oligarchs have supported someone for president that they underestimate.
The illicit affair between Russia's elite and the man who rules them on Putin and the oligarchs. And World War II Normandy. An obscure battle training session takes a tragic turn. Uncover the one secret military catastrophe on the secret D-Day disaster. Watch now on Curiosity Stream. Annual plans are $20, just $1.67 a month. Visit CuriosityStream.com.
What's up? It's your boy, the Ted Smith. Thanks for listening to the Men's Room Daily Podcast. Want more? Check out the greatest podcast in all the land, The Podcast. Be sure to subscribe and listen to a brand new episode every Tuesday night.
The members of this radio program are simply not that bright, or what some people would call educated. They are merely stupid. They're not trying to offend anyone on purpose. And all have played doctors on TV. You have been warned and are cordially invited to join the party. This is the Men's Room.
Forget it, man, and get with the countdown. Get with the countdown. Shake this square world and blast off for Kicksville. The trippers, the grasshoppers, the hip ones, all gathered in secrecy and flying high as a kite.
This is the Men's Room with Miles and Thrill. You know what they say, shake your radio more than 3 times, and you're playing with it. You're listening to the Men's Room.
And away we go. Welcome to season 17, episode number 3633. Along with Steve the Thrill Hill, the Ted Smith, and Mike Hawk. And you are the Men's Room. On tap today, Ryan Castle joins us from his basement dungeon studio bar, and once again, we will sit and spin as we go undercover with 10 rock covers that are more famous than the original. We will play Profile This, plus headlines, a Men's Room shot of the day, fun with listener emails, and everyone's favorite TV Time with Ted.
Clack, clack.
Drunk on day, all right, here we go. New Jersey man orders the clam dinner and walks out with $100,000 in cash. Meanwhile, Vegas police officer side hustle, that would be robbing casinos and making off with the stash. 18-wheeler spills on dead man's curve, spilling 45,000 pounds of chicken fat. California deputy pleads guilty to robbing people's homes when they go splat. And Vladimir Putin's super yacht gets a new name. That is all coming on today's very special episode of The Men's Room.
And now, here's the question.
Hola, bitches. Good day to you and yours. All right, if you're a regular listener of this fine, non-award-winning program, then you know that I hate vegetables. And I don't hate them a little. I hate them a lot. I hate them. And look, people make fun of me because all the time and effort I put into removing vegetables from my meals before I eat. And I'm okay with that because I'm not as bad as singer Kane Brown. Now, like me, Kane does not like vegetables, but he's even worse than me. Kane says he will throw away a taco if it has a shred of lettuce on it. Now, understand something. He will not pull off the lettuce. He throws the entire taco into the trash because he believes that the lettuce has tainted the rest of the taco. Now, that is a bit extreme, but he's hardly alone with having food issues. 7-time Super Bowl champion Tom Brady, much like myself, also avoids vegetables.
What?
He avoids vegetables. He has all these healthy eating habits, but now strawberries and coffee as well, but he does not like vegetables. Tom Brady does not eat vegetables, and I get it. What I do not get is Taylor Swift. She hates sushi. Or Hillary Duff. Now, she'll eat mussels. She'll eat oysters. But she won't eat clams. Or Chrissy Teigen, who I already don't like, but now I officially hate her. She does not like Nutella. Nutella, man. Come on. But look, everyone has their food thing. But you'd think maybe a chef, a culinary adventurer, they'd have an ironclad palate. But not necessarily. Martha Stewart, she hates truffle oil. Like, she strikes me as the poster child of someone who would love truffle oil. She hates truffle oil. Guy Fieri, this is the man who travels the country to showcase diners. He hates the staple of all diners, being eggs. And Rachel Ray, she hates mayo. But then so does Jimmy Fallon. He says it reminds him of pus. And to be fair, if food reminds me of pus, I probably would not enjoy it either. But today we want to know what you won't or can't eat again. Now look, it might be the taste, the texture, an allergy, something medical, the smell. Either way, we want to know. What won't you or can't you eat anymore, and why?
Be a part of the big show. Call 206-421-ROCK. Like the Men's Room on Facebook. Follow us on Twitter and Instagram at Men's Room Live. And send those emails to the Men's Room at KISW.com.
The debauchery rolls on. You're listening to the Men's Room with Miles and Thrill. 99.9 KISW.
Home Patrol's away we go. Welcome to Season 17, Episode number 3633. What a large and in charge program we have for you today. Guaranteed future repeat. Look, it's not raining.
Woo! I know. I thought the atmospheric river was supposed to be like all week.
Here? Crazy times.
And drought.
Yeah. What a big show we got for you today. Ryan Castle will join us once again from his basement dungeon studio bar. We got a good sit and spin for you today. We're going to go undercover with 10 covers that are more famous than the original versions of the songs.
Okay. Who do we talk to backstage? Oh, man, Sounds of Silence.
David Draymond.
All right. And he's actually a very nice guy. And but he sits down and he is in a good headspace, all right?
Yeah, he is.
And I just remember this big smile he had on his face, and it was whatever summer they released Sounds of Silence. And he was like, man, it's been a great year. We had the number one song on the rock chart. And he's swelling with pride. So I didn't say what I wanted to say. It's like, you didn't write it.
Right.
It's a cover, man.
I want to say
still number one song.
I know. Yeah. You can't take that, but I'm like, I would feel better if I wrote it.
There was an interview with Paul Simon. Paul Simon was the original writer of the song. It was a Simon and Garfunkel song. So they asked Paul Simon.
Garfunkel had nothing to do with it?
Apparently he didn't write the lyrics, didn't write the music, just kind of stood up there and showed off his hair. But, what do you think of the Disturbed version of Sound of Silence? And he said, I just bought a new boat and a new house.
Yeah, I mean,
I love it.
It's great.
It is awesome. If they want to cover more of my songs, that is just fine with me. How about Graceland? Cover anything. Cover any of my crap. You know what I mean?
Yeah, they're going to cover
You
Graceland.
can call me Al. Whatever. I don't care. Just cover some more of my stuff. So I got 10 covers that are more famous than their originals, and this is, I think, sticking to more of the rock covers.
All right.
In this instance. What else we got for you today? Oh, yeah. You want to go see Poison, Motley Crue, Def Leppard, and Joan Jett and the Blackhearts, T-Mobile Park, August 31st. We have a chance for you to win those tickets. Now, what they told us to do was, they said, hey, pick a time every day. You give them the time, then tell them the code word, the secret word. Mm-hmm. You head to KISW.com, go to the contest page. You'll see the link there. You fill in the word, and you have a chance to win those tickets to see that show. So what we determined is today, the time is going to be 4:20.
Ooh, good time.
4:20 today. We're going to do the secret word.
Can't possibly forget that.
Yeah, absolutely. We've never forgotten it, so maybe you won't either. Also today, coming up, the Men's Room Happy Hour exclusively on the Odyssey app. Yeah, well, yeah, it's my responsibility, but I like spread the pain if I can.
I got to do all the important stuff, but when I missed it, we missed it.
How do we screw this up? I can't believe it. It's unbelievable. Normally, it hits me like 4:50. Like, oh God, Jesus, man! Oh, I forgot to.
You're right.
Oh no,
that's all right.
I hope the code still works that late. You know, I mean, I don't even know if it does. I'm not sure, but I just
it's got to.
I still got to give it.
But I don't know. I mean, it's got to be a limited time.
Is there a window? Right? I mean, who knows?
I feel like if the window was missed, we would have heard.
Well, I think we have the whole show to do it. So we picked the time of 4:20.
Just give it out now.
We'll give you the code word. Probably has. We're estimating once again that it probably has something to do with food.
Just a guess,
but we don't. We don't.
People get hungry at 4:20 miles.
They sure do. That is a fact. Oh, let's see. We'll head on over to the Odyssey app. Maybe get to the return of the effing news for the Men's Room Happy Hour, episode number 125. And I know what you're thinking. Man, they've been doing a lot of these. Maybe I should listen, and you should today. Here's what you do. You download the Odyssey app. It's absolutely free. Hundreds of channels on there, any kind of music you want to listen to, as well as our daily podcast. And if you check out the Men's Room Happy Hour channel, favorite that bad boy, it will go live at 6, as it does every Monday through Friday. So more Men's Room on the way with the Men's Room Happy Hour. And today we're going to talk about what won't you or can't you eat anymore and why. There are times where maybe you've just had a bad experience with a food that has made you sick. Maybe you couldn't stand the texture, you couldn't stand the taste of it, or maybe it brings back memories of a terrible childhood, growing up with people who can't cook, or that's all you had to eat, or whatever the deal is. Sometimes there's a lot of different factors that go into the reasons why you don't eat certain food anymore. And I'll try anything. I mean, I personally, I will give anything a shot, but texture to me is the big one as far as foods that I choose not to eat because the texture wigs me out.
And you don't know it until you, like, sometimes you don't know that the texture of this food is going to ruin you until it's in your mouth, and you're like, this is not okay.
People are shocked that I don't like cottage cheese. I like most dairy things. For some reason, the texture of cottage cheese, it's like tapioca pudding. I can't
It tastes like, it doesn't taste, I think it tastes fine. It is a very dairy heavy taste. It tastes delicious, but you're right.
The texture,
the consistency, it's like someone had mozzarella in their mouth, chewed it up, spit it into a cup, and then handed it to you.
So anything like that, like sea urchin. I don't know if you've ever tried sea urchin.
I've tried it.
It's basically just a blended mush that looks like baby food, and typically when you go out,
does.
And I just the texture and the taste of that is something like that is not. That is something that I don't like to eat. And the other texture that I don't really like is certain things that not remind me, but paint a bad picture in my head. I don't like a Cadbury egg. I don't like biting into things where there's gooey stuff on the inside.
On the inside, yeah.
Yeah, so like...
Would you turn down freshen up gum? Remember that back in the day? That's when you bit into
gum is
it.
a little bit different. I don't like fruit in my pastries.
No.
So in other words, I don't like those little mini pies that you can get. I don't like a donut that's filled with some kind of jelly. I'll have a Boston cream donut. That's fine with me, or one of those. But I just don't like fruit in the middle of something.
I don't like real fruit in the middle of things. You know what I mean? So, like, if you give me a jelly donut, it can be raspberry jam or something inside of a donut, fantastic. If you put actual raspberries in there, I don't know why, but, like, at that moment, like, I don't want this.
Well, if you put a strawberry and a drizzle in my cheesecake, I'm pissed. Like, even just that. I'd rather just have the plain.
I won't eat the strawberry, but I don't mind it being there. Like, it'll end up on the side of my plate.
What about it's covered in cherries and all the cherry stuff? Cherry glaze.
I like cherry a little bit more. I like the taste of it.
I still won't. I don't mind the glaze, but the cherries themselves, they're sitting in a little gooey pile.
What if they're the ones that are in the jar? You know what I mean?
Does not matter.
The kind that you would put in a drink.
All right, apple pie.
I'm not a fan of apple pie because of that. You know, I mean, and look, I understand that it tastes good, and actually this is stupid now that I'm saying it out loud. Apple pie tastes fantastic. The consistency doesn't bug me. There's just something about, I don't want actual apples in there, man. Just give me you know what I mean? Give me some artificial goo, and I know that's awful, but for whatever reason, I'm much happier with that.
I was going to say temperature for me. Like, if there's a dish that involves kimchi, I love it.
Okay.
And if it's hot, but for some reason, it seems weird to me to eat it when it's cold, which is how you should.
Yeah, mostly it is served cold.
Yeah.
Isn't it? Okay. All right.
Like revenge.
Well, there's a bunch of celebrity chefs out there, if you happen to watch the Food Network, and even though they're chefs, as you said, Steve, they all have different things that they just can't stand. So Guy Fieri, we all know Guy Fieri from Diners, Drives, and Dives. He can't eat eggs. He's been very vocal about this. The fact that, you know, when he goes to different places, I mean, it's always, if eggs get brought up, and some of the places he goes to, they know the inside joke on the fact that he does not eat eggs. Now, I don't know if that means that he won't eat anything with eggs in it, like Caesar salad dressing, or
I think he's okay with that stuff. I think he does not want direct egg. He does not want poached, scrambled, or fried. But the thing is, you know, with diners in particular, 1/3 of the title of his show, like, eggs are kind of their go-to. Mm-hmm. Right? If you go to any diner, man, you want the 12 egg. Like, think about Beth's. They have other food there that you can eat, and it's fine. But eggs are all over the menu.
But you got to, if he opens up, he's got a number of restaurants, right? Mm-hmm. Let's say he opens up like kind of a bar food burger place, right? I don't think the option of an egg being on top of the burger would ever be something that he would do, even if other people liked it. I just don't think, because he likes to taste everything, make sure the combination works.
Well, he's got one in town, right? It's like a ghost kitchen. It's not like a real restaurant, but you can order from it. But you're right. I don't know that he has a burger with an egg on it. Now that you mention it, of all the episodes I've watched, I'm like, oh, yeah, you're right.
He does not eat eggs.
He hasn't, like, hunkered down on an omelet.
No, never. The Pioneer Woman, I'm not sure who she is, Ree Drummond.
She is famous.
Okay, she loves to cook for her family.
Yeah.
One thing she does not love and will not eat, bananas, which for me is probably my favorite fruit.
I'm with you.
I mean,
I love bananas.
Top 2, top 3. I mean, I like watermelon and everything else, but I mean, I don't like a lot of fruit. Mm-hmm. But bananas are way up.
Taryn won't eat a banana.
Really?
Hates the sound.
The sound of a banana.
Well, like chewing it or
it's kind of mushy when people are eating them.
So it's the texture. Back to the texture.
Yeah, I guess, yeah. I don't know.
Kind of like pre-mush. They should be firmer. You know what I mean? When you look at it, it's this erect thing, right? Mm-hmm. Then you peel it, you bite into it, and you're like, I just kind of sink right in there, don't I?
Yeah.
Unless it's green. It's real hard, but not as good. Not as sweet yet.
Does anybody here watch Chopped?
On occasion.
A judge named Scott, is it Conant, maybe? Does not like raw red onions. But in my mind, there are no real dishes where you cook a red onion.
Usually a white or yellow onion you cook down a lot.
Right.
And the red onion typically is served raw.
Most of the time. I don't know a dish where you take a red onion. Maybe a scallion you might cook down, which is kind of close to a red onion.
But it ain't a red onion.
But it's not a red onion. And yeah, I mean, I think that's a staple of a lot of hamburger places. That's normal.
It is.
I get a red onion.
That's the first kind of onions I started eating. Like, as a kid, I didn't like them.
Correct.
And as I got older, they were showing up on burgers. Like, this is actually really good.
That is how I got into the onion world myself.
As you said, Martha Stewart definitely has a refined palate. However, she cannot stand truffle oil. I don't know if that means that she does not like truffle mushrooms.
I don't know. But
she doesn't like the oil.
Specifically says truffle oil, so she's probably down with truffles.
Right, like, I think she likes truffles. That was the thing. Remember, it's kind of gone away. For a minute there, it was like, oh, we got truffle oil and stuff, and it was like...
On everything. French fries.
Right, and then it turned out, I was like, yeah, there's barely anything in it.
Right. Mm-hmm.
It's like balsamic.
Which I love.
Right, which is great, and I don't mind any versions of it, but the real stuff is like thick.
Oh,
like
yeah.
A drop comes out.
Mm-hmm.
Rachel Ray can cook a meal in 30 minutes, but she cannot stomach the taste of store-bought mayo.
Store-bought. So she'll make her own.
She'll make her own mayonnaise. She's probably never had Duke's.
That's a shocker.
Ann Burrell helps the worst cooks in America to not be the worst cooks in America, but when she's not doing that, she will not eat blue cheese. Cannot stand the taste of blue cheese. I like blue cheese.
But I can easily understand when other people say I don't like it. I'm I get it.
And it can be very overpowering sometimes. I like it best on beef, to be honest with you. I mean, it's not bad as far as the dressing goes, but if you get a steak crusted in blue cheese, or you get a burger with blue cheese.
The type of blue cheese, too. There's not one. You know, there's blue cheese, there's gorgonzola, and then there's all these. You can get it real stinky, or get it kind of creamy. You can get it where it's sticky, where the consistency bugs you. It comes in many forms.
What else we got? Duff Goldman. You know him from his cakes. He also despises bell peppers, which is one of my favorite vegetables.
If I'm going to eat a vegetable, it's probably a pepper.
I love bell peppers. I love green peppers.
Bell peppers,
yellow,
jalapeno. Peppers I'm okay with.
Andrew Zimmern, the host of Bizarre Foods. He samples unique delicacies from all over the world, but he doesn't want to come across walnuts in any of his dishes. And I truly believe the walnut is the worst nut.
No, I hate them.
I just think they are...
Do you hear that, Karen? Stop putting them in your chicken salad.
I do not.
Nobody
like
wants walnuts and cranberries in there.
I mean, there's a reason there's not a whole line of different types of flavored walnuts.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Bold, spicy, whatever you put on it. Garlic, salt and pepper.
I feel like after Christmas, walnuts really aren't being used. And I'm with you. I did, brownies with walnuts in them.
Pisses me off.
Right, and I hope nobody in my family hears this, because it's like our grandma's recipe. But it's like, right, but, she was old.
Right.
Like, why are we still putting walnuts in here?
I don't know.
I never understood the point of it. Because it's like, look, I just want a brownie. You're not making this healthy, right? I mean,
it doesn't add anything to it.
No.
It dries everything out.
I just have to search my gums and keep spitting out bits of walnut for the rest of the day.
I don't know what it was about my family growing up, but that was, I think it must have been the time, but you would go into somebody's house, and there would be a wooden bowl of nuts.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
In their living room or wherever, on a table, on a dining room table, and someplace in the house, which... you crack nuts, crap goes everywhere. I just remember the walnuts was the least favorite of all the nuts that were in there, because I'd go and just try them all, and I couldn't stand them.
My grandfather would sit there and just crack walnuts.
My father would do it. I don't know if it's just to pass the time, but watching TV, cracking walnuts, and maybe 10%.
Aish Curry says food is her love language, but she doesn't have a whole lot of love for foie gras. The goose stomach liver?
Liver.
It is the liver.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
That stuff's always tough, too. Like, I've had a version of it where it was delicious, but it's kind of like pate.
Right, it's hit and miss, man.
Yeah.
I mean, it really is.
And people say it's inhumane as far as the technique but man, I don't know if it's...
The way they do everything is inhumane, believe me. But I understand their point with foie gras.
Right,
Sure.
I do, too. But, if they did the same thing to a rat, would anybody care?
No. Like I said, if the animal's not cute, then nobody cares.
Because there's more geese than rats. You know what I mean? They're everywhere.
That's standard. If the animal's cute, we care. If the animal's not cute, we don't.
Mm-hmm. Top chef judge Tom Colicchio, I believe, samples all kinds of dishes, but he definitely preferred there was no okra in them. And the only thing I really know
I'm right there with you.
Agreed.
Is gumbo. I mean, I don't think I've ever had okra any other way. I guess you could steam the vegetable.
You could fry it. I've had it fried, too.
And I'm black. Okra can be served anyway. But, yes, typically you'll find it in some kind of wet dish. But, like, my grandma, I mean, she'd cook it up and throw it on the side of her meal. And we'd watch her eat it like that. And she'd, anybody want to try this? Like, no, I do not want to try
It's got a very distinct flavor to it.
Yes, it does. And it's bad.
Right, you know it from gumbo, and then I tried it fried, and I was like, I still don't like it. Then I tried it once. Somebody brought me in a cup of it, and it was like in a cheese sauce. Like you used to do with broccoli. And I was still like, I don't think I like okra.
Yeah, yeah. Well, if it's in the cheese sauce and it's not any good, you know what I mean? You've lost the battle there.
I like the name, though.
Chef Bobby Flay is a whiz in the kitchen, but if you serve him durian, he'll whiz right past you. I think a lot of people have that reaction to durian that we talked to.
I don't know a lot of people that have had durian.
Yeah. Oh, boy. Is it Gianna De Laurentiis?
She's the super hot.
I was going to say, we've looked her up.
Who she
is.
You know
who that is.
She doesn't like coconut. I know people are polarizing on
I don't like coconut.
I'm a fan of coconut. I like coconut cream pie. I like a good pina colada. It just depends on where the coconut is. I was never a big fan of the Almond Joy candy bar growing up.
That's a real man coconut. Like, this is all.
Almond Joy?
It looks like it should be delicious, right? When I look at coconut and rice, this flaky, pure white kind of thing, and as much as I try, I'm like, I just don't like it.
It seems like it's more on desserts. Like you'll see a cake that's got coconut shavings on
Which
top.
sucks. I hate that, man.
But it's like always the thing this time of year. It's perfect with the Girl Scout cookies, right? Because I'm one of those people like, I don't like coconut. It's like, how about a Samoa? Okay, sure. Yeah, I like those.
Right. But that's coconut flavored.
Well,
you know
it
what I
seems
mean?
like there's
it doesn't have the
pieces.
shavings.
Pieces
There's
of it
little
on
pieces
there.
on there.
It's shaving.
Yeah. I feel like coconut on the frosting of a cake. It's the walnuts in the brownie. Like, this is unnecessary, and now you've ruined it.
And lastly,
Well, I was going to say, it's like coconut shrimp.
have you guys heard of Ina Garten?
Yeah, I know her name.
She sounds like Anita Gardon. She's an icon in the world of restaurants. She's also one of those people who does not like cilantro and thinks it tastes like soap. And people, they've already scientifically proven that if you don't like cilantro, there's more than likely a reason because of the way it affects your taste buds. So our question, would, won't you, or can you eat anymore, and why? 206-421-ROCK.
0.9 KISW. The shenanigans continue. This is the Men's Room with Miles and Thrill.
What won't you, or can't you eat anymore, and why? 206-421-ROCK.
I like this guy. It's a man after my own heart. Or woman. I don't know. Says, I use and or eat tomatoes in almost every form they can be eaten. I love it. But I can't stand tomatoes themselves. Same with onions. Use them in a staple of my dishes. But actual onions, not something he's going to eat.
Most people don't just eat raw onions.
But like tomatoes. I use tomatoes in almost everything I'm going to make. But if you just handed me a couple of tomato slices, if you put it on my sandwich.
You wouldn't eat it on your lox with your bagel in the
I pull
morning?
it off. If I, even when I ordered, hey man, no veg. No veg. I'm like, yeah. And the worst case, here's my problem with the lox bagel, all right? It's not the tomato. That's easy to pull off. It's not even the onion. Usually I reduce how many onions I put on there.
Because it's a raw red onion.
But it's the goddamn capers. And the problem with the capers.
I like capers.
No, if you don't like capers, the difference is they get stuck into cream cheese. It's not as easy to just roll them.
I see.
And it becomes a whole process and it just ruins the whole thing.
What are capers?
They are cactus buds. I'm not sure what kind of cactus. But yeah, they're cactus buds. Or as I tell my mother, who loves them, I said they're frog testicles. Which makes her angry every time, which is why I tell her every time, Kermit the Frog would be so disturbed.
So it's a desert food?
Yeah, it's a cactus bud.
So why it's not
like
like part of like Mexican food or anything like that?
Because I can taste them.
Okay.
That's what I'm good. Oh, we got tons of them. We just hate them.
I almost ordered something today, but it specifically had capers on it. I was like, nope.
That, man, if I see capers on the dish, instantly I'm like, out.
What won't you, or can you eat anymore, and why? 206-421-ROCK.
Hello, Brian. Welcome to the Men's Room.
Hola, joint roller.
Hola.
Okay, so 1990, 1991, I go to my friend's house after soccer practice to spend the night. We stop at movies to go. He picks out Home Alone. I pick out Ninja Turtles, too. We go to his house. His mom says, I hope you like coleslaw and chicken and biscuits. I'm like, yes, I love it. It's delicious. I'm black. Right? So,
I'm black. What are you asking these dumbass questions for?
Jesus. Right. So a half hour later, I have to go to the bathroom. I come down into the kitchen. I walk to the kitchen, and I see his mom stirring up the coleslaw. Now, mind you, 2 days before, she had burnt her hand on the side where, like, you were to chop a brick, like on your pinky.
Yeah.
And she had like a hot dog sized blister on her hand.
Okay.
So while I'm looking at her stir the coleslaw with this big wooden spoon, I could see this tan juice dripping out of the hot dog sized blister and running down the spoon. And I didn't tell anyone because I wanted to watch Ninja Turtles 2 really, really bad.
Did you eat the coleslaw?
No.
Was it on your plate?
It was on my plate, but, I mixed it up to make it look like maybe I took a bite or something like that. I didn't want to be rude.
Yeah, kids always try that, but it's almost like hiding your underwear that you stained in the corner of your laundry basket.
We know what you're doing.
Eventually, we're going to get
But
there.
do you call out other people's kids, right? Because he was visiting. He's just there to watch a movie.
Right.
But but still a tough situation because you still got to look at your buddy and say, hey, man, like, your mom's a blister juice. Like, you just don't want her to know. You don't want her to feel uncomfortable, but I'd at least try to warn my buddy, like, don't eat the coleslaw.
Well, like you said.
But wait, can you still not eat coleslaw just from that memory?
Just from that memory. But I did tell my friend later on, when he tried to clown me about my girlfriend dumping me, I was like, hey, that's why you had your mom's blister juice in your coleslaw.
I mean, good call, by the way.
Yeah.
Ninja Turtles 2 was phenomenal.
Was it a good movie?
Vanilla Ice was in it.
Oh, then
at the
you know it's
time,
good.
he was a legit massive artist.
He also did a song for the soundtrack, didn't he?
Yeah, go Ninja, go Ninja, go.
Go Ninja. That could have gone really bad.
I know.
Look,
he would not dare do it now. It's for the movie.
But he's not kidding. That movie, we went and saw it in the theater. I remember me and my buddy begging my mom, we've got to go see Ninja Turtles 2.
He still won't eat coleslaw.
I'm very particular about my coleslaw. I hate the foo-foo, like you'd say, carrying it up. Like the big, long strands of red cabbage, and it's just... I like Southern slaw that's really finely diced. You know what I mean? More like the KFC coleslaw. That kind
they do have good coleslaw.
That kind of style. I don't like the foo-foo deli.
Well, coleslaw, I feel like it's all right. It's more like chicken salad where you get the crazy walnut.
You do.
Walnuts?
Walnuts. Oh.
They put walnuts.
Would you eat a walnut? It said, here's a walnut.
Is it candied?
We don't know. You have to try the walnut.
What if it fell out of someone?
I know, the can of walnuts.
Canned walnuts.
What won't you or can you eat anymore and why? 206-421-ROCK.
Walnuts. Yeah, right over there. Hello, Danny. Welcome to the men's room.
Hola.
Hola.
So I cannot eat uncooked bananas. I'm allergic to them. When I was a kid, I stepped on a bee's nest, and the pheromone that bees give off when they sting you is called isoamyl acetate or isopentyl acetate. It's the same chemical that gives bananas their flavor.
And isn't that why bees, if you want to piss off a bee, open a banana? If they smell a banana.
If murdered by bees, go ahead and take a banana near a beehive because they will attack you.
Yeah, there's something in the banana and the pheromone or the chemical, for whatever reason, it sets bees off. They will attack you because you have a banana.
I was fine for a long time. I could eat them when I was a kid, and then they say stress changes it. So on my first day of basic training, I ate something. And my throat started feeling itchy, and I go up to the drill sergeant. I'm like, drill sergeant, something's wrong. He's like, shut the F up, private, sit back down. But when I started breaking out in hives, they finally took me to the hospital. The hospital did the obligatory, if you hadn't gotten here, if you'd gotten here 5 minutes later, you would have died.
Of course.
Because I ate a banana.
Yeah, so they eventually did the scratch test on me and figured out that what happened was I had eaten some fruit cocktail that had banana slices in it. So now, if I eat them, they taste like pepper. They don't even taste like a banana. It's like my body trying to warn me. The reaction I get isn't so strong anymore now that I'm not stressed out about being a basic. My ex-wife accidentally put some in a smoothie because she's an evil bitch. I think she was trying to kill me.
Oh, so that wasn't an accident.
Yeah. You're kidding me.
Yeah. But all I got to do is just take a Benadryl now. I don't need to take the EpiPen shot.
So,
I can't. I get morphed. I can't eat them anymore.
Well, there's no sneaking in the banana in anything, right? I mean, I can't think of anything where you
other than a smoothie,
blend the banana, right? Exactly.
That's it.
I still read labels on things just to make sure. But I can eat banana bread and stuff, and I love that. I just can't have uncooked bananas.
Back to what you said about being cooked. So you could eat fried plantains. That wouldn't be a problem.
Probably. I haven't had them.
But is it worth?
They're delicious.
But is it worth the risk? Based on what you're saying and how much an EpiPen cost. I mean, is it worth, if you go to a Mexican restaurant and they have them?
That's kind of just why I don't mess with it. That's just why I don't mess with it. I know if it's baked for a long time in banana bread, I can eat it. But I don't mess with artificial banana flavors. I don't mess with normal bananas. I just stay away.
And this is all from the bees stinging you and kind of over-injecting you with whatever that pheromone is?
I got stung like 50 times. Like, my eye was swollen shut. I stepped on a bee's nest in, like, Lake Erie when I was, like, 5, and I got stung, like, 30 or 40 times. And so it was a lot, and, like, I had to go to the hospital. And, so, you know, I've been allergic to bees ever since, and then just around the age of 18, it morphed into a banana allergy.
Damn. And I'm guessing you found out by eating a banana and things went wrong, right?
Yeah, in basic training.
That was okay.
Okay, well, Bananas Foster, I mean, golly, that's a tough one to give up.
Well, what about Bananas Foster? Because, I mean, it's not really cooked. It's been superheated in direct flame. Would you...
I don't, you know, I don't know how long you need. I don't want to find out. I just know if you put an hour in the oven, it's fine.
All right.
Yeah, because you don't cook banana cream pie.
And Bananas Foster is awesome, but I mean, you don't run into it very often.
No, you got to be in a nice place. If they bring that over, you really drop some coin wherever you are.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I'm with you. I can't imagine never having it again in my life, but also, like, that'd be an easy one to be like, all right, I don't eat that anymore.
Not only that, but...
Yeah, I can lose bananas and be like, okay.
At the place where you get Bananas Foster, you've already had an appetizer. Mm-hmm. They more than likely brought you a salad or soup.
Sure.
You've eaten a huge-ass steak with mashed potatoes or a baked potato or whatever. You have done a meal. You know what I mean? You're having drinks. And by the time you're lucky to finish the steak. So then for the idea of them bringing over this whole tray.
For two.
Right, exactly, to cook that up.
It's never really for one, you know. They'll always tell you it's for two.
It's just a lot. Well, won't you, or can't you eat any more, and why? 206-421-ROCK.
Hello, Joe. Welcome to the men's room.
Leroy Jenkins.
Hola.
So I'm going to try to tell a good story this time because my buddies apparently say that my stories suck every time I call. So
okay. We probably think the same. We just can't remember.
Yeah, we're his buddies.
Yeah, and we didn't know, so this isn't a good start. You've already kind of tainted it a bit.
Now we're waiting for you to suck. See, none of us were thinking that before you said it. But
terrible telling jokes, but here's one.
You're like the guy that points that little zit like on his neck that no one noticed, but now that you've pointed at it, everyone is staring at the zit.
Yeah, so now the pressure's on.
Mm-hmm.
So basically, I figured out when I was a little after high school I can't eat crab anymore because I'm allergic, and it gives me like food poisoning or I just throw up and pee out my butt.
Is it all shellfish or just crab?
Just crab. I can eat. I just found out last week I can eat lobster. I can eat shrimp. I can eat everything else. Just can't eat crab.
I'll be damned. That's
yeah.
I just figured if it was a mollusk or a crab, you couldn't do it.
Right.
Yeah. So I thought I could eat. I thought I could probably eat fake crab. You know. So my girlfriend and I about 10 years ago, well, ex-girlfriend, but we went to a Chinese restaurant and I had a bunch of crab puffs. And it turns out I can't eat imitation crab either because it's got real crab juice on it. And woke up at like 2 or 3 in the morning, just sat up like the Undertaker, the wrestling guy, just sat up and just no time and just puked like a fountain all over.
Well, no wonder she's the ex.
All over the place.
That would almost be a deal breaker for me, man.
Oh, crab?
Yeah, we've been dating for a while.
There's very few foods though that I'm like, hey man, you got to eat crab. You know what I mean? Like that's
I don't eat crab much, but when I do eat crab, I'm very dedicated to eating crab. In fact, every time I go to Baltimore, if I'm there for like 3 days, and I don't do this on purpose, it's just how it shakes out with the menu, right? So, all right, let's get up, get breakfast. We're there with the kids, and they have whatever kind of omelet or whatever. Like, ooh, it has all this crab dumped on top, right? Like, okay, cool.
Yeah.
Then we go out for lunch, and I'm like, well, I'll get a crab cake sandwich. Like, ooh, a pretzel smothered in crab. And I realize I eat... every meal I have, and I try to do 3 meals a day when I'm on vacation, and each one has crab. If you told me I couldn't eat crab, I'd be like, I will never visit Baltimore.
Even the Eggs Benedict. You can get crab, lump crab.
Yeah, Eggs Delmarva.
Yeah, it's fantastic.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm with you. I couldn't give up crabs.
I can't do it, man.
Just the idea of not... And not that it's your fault that you can't eat it. You always have an allergic reaction to it. But it's still be like, this might just be a deal breaker.
Well, that's what I told you. Like, we were talking about the gout the other day.
Yeah.
Obviously, sitting around eating steamed crabs and steamed shrimp and drinking beer with my cousins is a huge,
risk.
I wouldn't do this. But I've sat there with my one cousin when we already had gout, and we're like, screw it.
Yeah, no,
I'm back in this area. We're getting crabs. Like, the hell
Sorry. Well, won't you, or can't you eat any more? And why? 206-421-ROCK.
Hello, Shelby. Welcome to the men's room.
Hola.
Hola.
So, unfortunately, mine is chocolate milk or chocolate ice cream.
Ooh. Well, no.
That's a tough one.
Yeah, no chocolate milk sounds brutal.
How old were you when you discovered this?
When I was in high school, so about 15. 16.
Well, at least you got the important chocolate milk years. Like, it's one thing to be 15, and it sucks, because I still like chocolate milk, chocolate ice cream. But if you had told me this news when I was like 8 years old, I'd have lost my mind.
Can you eat a Twix or a Kit Kat or something like that?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Well, what had happened is in high school, I had got a chocolate milk from the cafeteria, and I went to take a drink, and it wasn't liquid. It was chunky.
Oh, so this isn't an allergy thing. This is a memory thing.
Yes, absolutely.
Look, I think chocolate milk is so worthy of you going and talking to someone. You know, even if it's just a couple of
time to get therapy, so you can drink chocolate milk.
And they say, "Why are you here?" And you say, you just break it down. You tell them the story.
PTSD from chunky chocolate milk.
How do I overcome this? You know what I mean? So that I can enjoy ice cream and chocolate milk. Because I don't know how the ice cream figures in, other than it's lumpy like what the milk was. You know?
Yeah, it's just the taste and everything. It just I can't. I've tried multiple times. My husband's tried multiple times, and I can't even stand the smell of it.
Well, the good news is I think out of all the things that's good with chocolate ice cream is probably the worst. I'd almost rather have chocolate cake. I mean, even when I get like a Neapolitan, whatever, I'll eat some of the strawberry before I'll get into the chocolate.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, no, I like chocolate ice cream. I mean, I don't think it's the best ice cream, and it probably is the worst form of chocolate, but it's still very, very good. That's like saying the ugliest Victoria's Secret model. Like, okay.
Yeah. But chocolate milk, man, that's a different planet, man. I'm swear to God, I would go to therapy.
What about...
like I never order chocolate ice cream, but every time I have it, I go, well, it's still delicious.
It is. It is. And now that I got kids at home, like, it shows up more than it ever would.
Is that their flavor?
It's one of them. They got mint chocolate chip, vanilla, and chocolate right now, I believe.
My kids are into the cookie ice cream. That seems to be their go-to.
I'm trying not to introduce them to certain things.
Age bracket too.
That's Oreos in.
No, because once I get to that, like, that's all they're ever going to get. So right now, I can still mix it up with a few different flavors.
Okay.
Because they are unaware of
strategizing.
They have no idea, like cookie dough ice cream. They don't even know this exists.
You run your kitchen like a top secret operation.
I do, and I know I do.
But that's what I'm saying. It's an age bracket thing. So his kids are still in the bracket where it's like chocolate, vanilla, plain.
They're
like
fine
your kids are adults. They're like, no, let's get chocolate chip.
Yeah, but they can also earn their own money. See, and this is the thing. Like, if you're living in my house, I rarely ever bought ice cream. And then you have kids eat ice cream. And then I realize at any point there's 3.5 gallons, but the flavors are always different. This works for me because I like milkshakes, right? So I'll hook it up. But once they discover like cookie dough, I think that's going to be the one that goes over the top.
So what else? So you got Cinnamon Toast Crunch. You got cookie dough.
They don't know anything about the Cinnamon Toast Crunch. It's stored in a place they can't see. And I was eating some about 2 weeks ago, late night, right? The kids are in bed. Son can't sleep. And I hear him coming down the hall, and I throw him a magazine over top of my bowl, like I'm watching porn and my parents are coming. You know what I mean? So I see him, and I'm like, nothing. He's kind of looking at me. I'm like, what, man? He can tell I'm being impatient. I don't want my cereal to get soggy, but I don't want him to know it's there.
Right.
Because he will try anything. And I know that if he tries the Cinnamon Toast Crunch, it's over.
What about anything to drink, like a Hawaiian Punch? Or
so with the drinks, they're actually pretty good. Right now,
Coca-Cola, has he ever had a Coke?
He loves Sprite. They've had Coca-Cola, and right now there's like a 12-pack sitting on the floor, but he understands the Coca-Cola. I have to be in a real good mood. It should probably be the weekend. And I've been telling him, like, look, man, it's just the caffeine and the soda. I don't
and the sugar.
I don't care about the sugar so much because you're a kid. You know what I mean? I know you rock the sugar, but I'm like the caffeine. Once you get addicted to that, you're on it. And I'm like, at some point you will. Just not yet. So he houses Sprite and 7-Up. My daughter is just milk and water, so she's easy, man.
Yeah, I mean...
And strawberry lemonade. When we're at Olive Garden, they have what? Strawberry lemonade, I think it was. He's like, hell yeah, pretty much bottomless. And I'm thinking my daughter's going to be excited. We're like, hey, man, you want the strawberry lemonade? It's like, nah, just water. We're like, they have other things, just water.
Really?
What's the strawberry one with like the strawberries in it at Red Robin?
That's the strawberry lemonade.
Freckled? The freckled.
Yeah. Oh, that's the... Look,
that's bottomless.
I don't normally like real fruit in my stuff. But Red Robin, hey, I'm down with that one, man.
Okay. You ever taken your daughter to McDonald's to get chicken nuggets?
Their grandparents, my parents, introduced them to McDonald's.
So you kept them away from McDonald's, but your parents ruined it.
Yeah, because, again, it's not their kids, so they don't care. And what's odd is, when I was growing up, we had to beg and plead and do 15 chores to get them to take us to McDonald's. Right?
Absolutely.
If you said, Mom, Dad, can we go to McDonald's? Right? Same reason any kid wants to go to McDonald's. They're like, you got to do this, this, and this. And even with that, it would still be like the next day. You do this today, I will think about it overnight. My kids, okay, Mama, can we go to McDonald's? Hop in the car. I'm like, that's... That's crap. Yeah.
What won't you or can't you eat anymore and why? 206-421-ROCK.
Yeah, I'm bitter.
Hello. I mean, look, but it's everybody. When I was a kid, I didn't like my mom. She was a little looser, so we could always have a soda with dinner.
Sure.
But like my cousins, that was a massive deal. Like Aunt Barbara, you could not have a Coca-Cola when you were at their house, right? Like I think she had some kind of like you that she saved. But it's weird now as I can see the second generation of kids and my Uncle Tim, my Aunt Barbara. Oh yeah, give them cookies, give them sodas, whatever.
You know what? And it's bad though, like because my kids when they have their friends over, and you know which friends, not their dietary restrictions, so to speak, but what their parents are cool with, what they're not, right? So a lot of the kids cannot have soda of any kind,
right?
So my son will rock the Sprite, delicious drink, right? And there's a couple of friends, Mr. Steve, can I have a Sprite? And when I ask it like that, I understand this is a parental thing.
You cannot tell your parents.
I thought, go ahead, man.
Yeah.
Yep. If you're here, yeah. And here's the thing, you want a second one? Go ahead. When their parents come to pick them up and tell them, like, they might bounce off the walls, they had 2 sprays. But, like, I don't care. And you know that they already know all the things I have in place are already hidden from the kids. So the worst their kid will have at my house are Oreos and Sprites. It does not get worse than that because my kids don't even know the other goodies. This is how bad we are. You know hotcakes, right?
Oh,
yeah. Location
in
in Ballard. They got a location in Capitol Hill.
Correct.
All right. And
that's
this
the dessert place. It's got the line.
It's the dessert place. It always has a line. My wife tells me about this place like 7 years ago. She says, man, we got to go, but there's always a line, which is never a sales pitch for me. I said that there's no dessert that is worth waiting in line for. I'm not built for that. So we compromised, and we went to hotcakes, and I stood in line for 40 minutes. And I tried this, like, molten brownie cake thing. We went back, like, 8 more times after this. Then we found out they sell stuff you can take home.
Oh.
We bought 4 of them. We're a family of 4. And my wife and I each had 2.
All right. You didn't even let them know.
They were in the back of the fridge, in the corner. They had no idea. And another one of those deals was waiting for them to go to bed. We fired up the oven, made those things, and we're just, like the kids would love these.
The giant
would.
The giant cookie with the ice cream.
Yeah, look, when they discover these things, then we'll open it up a little bit. Like, I'm just not telling you.
What won't you or can't you eat anymore and why? 206-421-ROCK.